Since the dawn of time, humanity has searched for one single thing, the door that leads to truth, to inner power, to a peace that does not depend on the world. Many have spoken of it. Few have found it. Today, you are about to hear what for centuries remained a veiled secret, the secret doors of the kingdom. Inspired by the profound wisdom of Emmett Fox, this text reveals how Jesus did not only speak of salvation, but taught the direct path to enlightenment, a path hidden in plain sight, yet open to all who are willing to see with the eyes of the Spirit. Here you will discover that the kingdom is not a distant place, nor a future promise, but a living reality within you. Every teaching, every word, every silence of Jesus contains eternal keys to break the chains of fear, guilt, illness, and limitation, and to awaken the light that has always dwelled within you. Prepare to cross invisible thresholds, to open doors that reveal themselves only to the awakened soul. What you are about to hear is not just knowledge, it is an activation, a direct call to the very center of your being. Listen with reverence, because once these doors are opened, you will never look at life the same way again. The kingdom of heaven is not a distant country, nor a reward reserved for after death. It is not a paradise won through long penances, nor a refuge reserved only for saints or the enlightened. The kingdom is here now within you, so proclaimed the Master. The kingdom of God is within you. Luke 5:21. The kingdom is a place, a state of consciousness. It is the living, pulsating realization of God's presence within your own being, the awakening of the inner Christ. Whoever sincerely seeks the truth will sooner or later hear the call. It is not an external ritual, but a whisper in the heart. There is more. There is depth. There is abundant life waiting to be discovered. This call knows no age, status, or history. It is as universal as the sun that rises for all, and as personal as the unique imprint of every soul. Perhaps you feel it now as you read these lines, the desire to understand, to heal, to awaken to a new life. This book is an invitation to cross the 7 gates of the kingdom. Each gate is a psychological and spiritual threshold. Each represents a decisive step, a moment when an illusion of the ego must die so that a greater reality may be born. Just as the chrysalis dissolves for the butterfly to emerge, so too must the old image of oneself be relinquished again and again until the inner light is fully revealed. Do not expect rigid doctrines or abstract theories here. This is not a treatise on theology. It is a practical manual of transformation. Every teaching, every exercise, every story is meant to be lived, not merely understood. It is not about convincing you to adopt new beliefs, but about guiding you in the art of discovering, through your own experience, the reality of the inner kingdom. The path is narrow and the gate is small, as Jesus warned, narrow is the gate, and difficult is the way which leads to life, and few there are who find it. Matthew 7:14. But narrow does not mean exclusive or difficult in the ordinary sense. It means the ego cannot pass through weighed down with old ideas, resentments, or fears. Each gate requires letting go of something. Each step asks for the courage to die to what you are not, so that what you have always been in God may be born. The 7 gates are not a modern invention, nor a mere metaphor. They reflect an initiatory tradition that runs through ancient mysteries and finds fulfillment in the teaching of Christ. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. He will come in and go out and find pasture. John 10:9. Every genuine seeker in every era and culture has had to cross inner thresholds, overcome trials, renounce the illusion of separation, and reunite with their divine nature. Over the years, I have witnessed many students walk this path. Some arrived burdened by pain, others hungry for meaning, and some driven by a longing to serve and heal. All, without exception, faced resistance, fear, doubt, pride, impatience, and subtle temptations that arise just before each revelation. These are the guardians of the gates. They are not enemies, but necessary tests, not punishments, but opportunities for growth. Those who recognize them and bless them see that each obstacle is truly a teacher in disguise. In these pages you will read condensed testimonies of those who have completed the journey. A woman, after years of resentment, crossed the gate of forgiveness and experienced a peace she had never known. A man, having wrestled with his own courage, found in humility the inner strength that allowed him to transform his surroundings. All recount death and rebirth, as if on the other side of each threshold, the butterfly is freed from the chrysalis of the past. I invite you then to undertake this journey not as an obligation or a race, but as a process of self-revelation. Move step by step, feel, practice, reflect. Dare to die to the old so that new life may express itself in you. Fear not the guardians. Observe them, learn from them, and cross with faith and humility toward each gate. The kingdom awaits you, not in some distant land, but here, in the eternal moment where consciousness awakens and recognizes its origin in God. Crossing the 7 gates is responding to the call of the inner kingdom. The invitation has now been extended. Do you dare to enter? The 7 gates of the kingdom, an initiatory journey into Christ consciousness, inspired by Emmett Fox. We have noticed that more than 80% of visitors to our channel are not subscribed. You can support this project by clicking the subscribe button and liking the video. Thank you for inspiring us to continue creating more and better content for you. Are you ready to transform your life? Chapter 1. The First Gate, the Awakening of Faith. Every genuine spiritual journey begins with an invisible decision, an intimate and quiet movement of the soul that is barely noticeable, yet more powerful than any storm in the physical world. How does this journey begin? With faith, but not just any faith, not the faith imposed by tradition, nor the empty faith of one who repeats words spoken by others before. No. The awakening of faith is a creative act, the true beginning of all growth, the first gate of the kingdom. What is faith? How can we distinguish the living faith that transforms and builds from the dead faith that numbs and stops? Whoever does not understand this can never advance on the path of Christ consciousness. The faith I speak of is not blind belief, nor a refuge for superstition. It is not accepting without thought, nor resigning oneself to the inexplicable. It is the intimate understanding of a spiritual law that governs all that exists, a certainty as quiet as a root in the soil, as firm as a mountain, even if invisible to the eye. The Master Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. It is indeed the smallest of all seeds, but when it has grown, it is the greatest of all vegetables, and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the sky come and make nests in its branches." Matthew 13:31, 32. Here lies the first great secret. Authentic faith, though tiny at first, already contains the infinite potential of God. The seed is small, but its destiny is greatness. Have you ever held a mustard seed? It is barely felt between your fingers. It may seem insignificant, yet within it resides the mystery of life, the blueprint of an entire tree. So it is with faith. It is not measured by outward fervor or by the force of repeated prayers, but by the quality of understanding. True faith needs no shouting, no demonstrations. It is simply the certainty of what is hoped for, the conviction of what is unseen. Hebrews 11:1. Let me explain it in even simpler words. Faith is the art of mentally accepting the good before it manifests. When the mind understands and accepts spiritual reality, it becomes a channel for good to express itself. Every human experience begins in the mind. Everything you think eventually becomes your reality. Faith is that first pure, serene, and powerful thought that plants the seed of a new life within you. Many confuse faith with gullibility. They think faith is believing blindly or accepting absurdities. Nothing could be further from the truth. Faith is scientific because it operates according to laws as precise as those of nature. There is a law of thought, unseen yet infallible, which says, whatever you persistently accept in your mind, that you will produce in your outer world. It is the law of mentalism that Jesus lived and taught at every step, and that every sincere seeker can verify in their life. So how does this awakening of faith begin? What if you feel your faith is weak, small, or simply non-existent? Here is the good news. You do not need to start with giant faith or absolute certainty. A sincere desire, a small impulse, the willingness to try is enough. Faith, like a seed, is cultivated. It grows when you exercise it, just as a muscle strengthens with use. Imagine a humble farmer who finds a seed one day along the path. He does not dismiss it because it is small. He knows that if he plants it and cares for it, something new will soon grow. Likewise, Every thought you nurture, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is the beginning of transformation. But you must plant it. You must care for it. Do not abandon it because it is small. Do not question its purpose. The seed does not argue with the soil, the rain, or the drought. It simply surrenders to the law of life and grows. For your faith to awaken, begin today with a simple but powerful exercise. Dedicate 30 days to consciously experimenting with the spiritual law. This is not about accepting dogmas or repeating empty phrases. It is about conducting an experiment with yourself. Start by asking for small things, things that seem possible, not dependent on external forces, but on a higher order. Ask for peace in your home, a gentle solution to a minor problem, a sign of unexpected well-being. Do not seek great miracles at first. Seek to confirm the principle. Record each request in a faith journal. Write the date, the time, and the specific request. Be clear. Be simple. Do not entangle your mind with contradictory desires. At the end of each day, note any results, however small. If you see nothing, do not be discouraged. The seed works in secret before it sprouts to the surface. Continue this exercise for 30 days, gradually increasing the difficulty of your requests. As you witness the law responding, your faith will naturally grow. Many ask me, how do I know this is not mere coincidence? I reply, everything in life is the result of a law. If you plant a seed, would you call it coincidence when a tree grows? If you repeat a mental action, sooner or later you will see the fruit. Faith strengthens through experience. It is like learning to walk. No one runs before taking the first steps. Do not fear mistakes. If you fall, get up and continue. Let me share a simple story from my ministry. A woman filled with anxiety for her child's health came seeking help. I taught her to pray scientifically, not by pleading, but by affirming perfection and good in her child's life. I asked her to repeat for several days, the life of God in this child is perfect, strong, and healthy. She documented every small improvement, every sign of progress. After 2 weeks, the transformation was evident. It was not an arbitrary miracle, but the persevering application of a law. She confessed to me. At first she doubted, but now she knew that faith moves mountains. You too can move mountains, not by your human strength, but by the power of divine law. What is a mountain in your life? A financial problem, an old resentment, an illness. Plant the seed of faith, nurture it, feed it with thoughts of good. Refuse to focus on the negative appearance. Each time your mind wavers, repeat to yourself, my faith, though small as a seed, moves mountains. Infinite intelligence responds to my trust with perfect manifestations. No situation is too difficult for faith. No obstacle can resist a mind illuminated by truth. Jesus himself said, if you had faith like a mustard seed, you would say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it would move. Nothing would be impossible for you. But remember, faith is not mechanical repetition of words. It is intimate acceptance of a higher reality. It is the willingness to let go of fear, doubt, and fatalism. It is looking beyond appearances and affirming good amid difficulty. Do not confuse faith with fanaticism. True faith is serene. It needs no one's approval. It does not flaunt its power, nor challenge others. Faith is personal. It is the soul's response to the presence of God within. It is the first step toward entering the kingdom. Finally, let me reveal a secret not everyone is ready to hear. Each time you mentally accept the possibility of good, even for a moment, you open a door that no force in the world can close. Faith is the channel through which God expresses in your life. Do not wait to have everything figured out to believe. Believe and watch how everything begins to fall into place. Faith is the master key of life. Learn to use it, and nothing will be denied to you. Make this chapter a living exercise. Keep your faith journal honestly. Do not deceive yourself. Do not embellish the facts. If one day you fail, start again. If doubt arises, observe it, but do not empower it. Faith, like all virtues, strengthens through daily practice. Reflect now in silence. Lord, let my faith, though small as a mustard seed, be enough to move the mountains in my life. I open my mind and heart to infinite intelligence. I trust in the spiritual law. I give thanks in advance for every manifestation of good. Amen. Remember always, faith is the beginning, the first gate. Without faith, nothing begins. With faith, Everything is possible. Go ahead. Cross the gate. The next revelation awaits beyond this threshold. Chapter 2. The second gate. Discernment between the real and the unreal. Every authentic spiritual advance requires, sooner or later, that the student learn to distinguish between what is real and what is unreal. This is one of the great keys that separates the simple believer from the true initiate in the consciousness of the inner Christ. Those who cannot distinguish between truth and appearance are condemned to wander blindly through a labyrinth of doubts, contradictions, and unnecessary suffering. Crossing the second gate is embracing the supreme art of discernment. Since the dawn of humanity, the wise have taught that the visible world is actually a shadow of the invisible. The world you perceive with your senses, with all its joys and sorrows, its triumphs and defeats, is no more than a transient stage, a shifting representation that hides a greater reality. Just as the night walker sees monsters in the shadows until the light reveals their true nature, so the soul perceives problems, obstacles, and evils where there are only lessons and divine possibilities not yet understood. The Master Jesus, with the precision of a true spiritual teacher, left us the parable of the wheat and the tares. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went away. And when the grain sprouted and produced fruit, then the tares also appeared. Matthew 13:24-26. When the servants asked if they should pull up the tares, the owner replied, "No, lest while gathering the tares, you also uproot the wheat. Let both grow together until the harvest." Is this not a perfect image of what happens in the mind of every human being? True thoughts, the wheat, and false thoughts, the tares, grow together in the field of consciousness. Fear, doubt, resentment, guilt, the sense of separation, these are all forms of tares that easily mingle with the wheat of right thought, love, trust, and unity with God. Many people, without realizing it, have nourished the tares more than the wheat, and then wonder why life returns bitter fruit. Discernment is not a mere intellectual function, it is a spiritual gift, an inner light that allows one to see beyond appearances. Just as the seeker in Plato's cave understands that the shadows on the wall are not reality, but only projections of the true light, so the initiate learns to look at life and thoughts with new eyes. They know that difficulties, failures, and sorrows are not realities in themselves, but results of giving power to false thoughts. But how is this discernment developed? Desire alone is not enough. It requires constant vigilance, a silent and loving attention to one's inner world. Every thought that crosses your mind is a seed. Ask yourself, where does it come from? What does it respond to? Does it bring peace, expansion, joy, or does it plant fear, contraction, anxiety? Here lies the first practical exercise of this gate. For 1 week, keep an hourly record of your thoughts. Each time you remember, pause for a moment and classify it. Is this thought wheat or tares? Does it nourish my soul or impoverish it? Do not be discouraged if you discover more tares than wheat. At first we all go through this stage. The important thing is to observe without condemnation, because condemnation itself is also tares in disguise. The spiritual watcher's role is not to fight evil, but to recognize it as unreality and gently return to thoughts of truth. Just as the gardener does not struggle with the shadow, but opens the window to let in the light, so must you. Each time you discover a tares thought, replace it with an affirmation of truth. For example, if fear arises, affirm calmly, "God is my strength. Nothing can harm me." If criticism appears, remember, "I see the Christ in every being." Faith, your words are like loose leaves carried away by the wind. A decree needs support, and that support is faith, but not just any faith, not emotional, fickle, or superstitious faith, but scientific, conscious faith grounded in law. Most people confuse faith with hope. To hope that something will happen is weak. To know that something is already happening, even though you do not yet see it, is power. Faith is not wishing, it is recognizing. It is not begging, it is assuming. It is not praying for an external miracle to visit you. It is declaring the law that is already operating internally in your favor. Jesus said, "If you have faith as a mustard seed, you would say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it would move." Matthew 17:20. This passage appeals not to religion but to psychology. The mustard seed, tiny yet full, represents compact, unwavering faith. It does not need to be large, but it must be whole. The seed does not doubt. It simply grows when given soil, water, and light. Similarly, your faith only needs to be pure, uninterrupted, without doubt, because doubt is the poison of the creative mind. It is like planting a seed in the morning and digging it up at night to check if it has sprouted. The result is failure. The subconscious requires continuity. Faith is not a momentary state of enthusiasm. It is a conviction sustained over time. How do you cultivate this scientific faith? First, by understanding that the subconscious responds according to law, not whim. Just as fire heats, your mind responds to the decree. Not because you deserve it, not because you beg, but because that is how the mechanism is designed. Second, by recognizing that mental law works equally for everyone. Rich and poor, wise and ignorant, all are subject to this law. The difference is not in the law, but in its application. Those who decree from knowledge of this law, without fear and with clarity, obtain results. Those who decree from doubt, anxiety, or passive expectation remain without fruit. Once, a businessman who had lost almost everything in a bad investment came to me seeking guidance. He said, "I have tried affirmations, but they do not work." I asked, "With what attitude do you repeat them?" He replied with despair, hoping something would happen. I explained, "That is not faith. It is anxiety in disguise. It is like shouting at a plant to grow. Your word must be a calm command, not a desperate plea. If you decree prosperity, do so with the certainty that your deep mind has already received the mandate, and circumstances will move accordingly." I gave him a simple decree. The infinite wisdom of God guides me, and prosperity flows to me in all my affairs. I asked him to repeat it not as one recites mechanically, but as one affirms a law. For a month he recited it 3 times a day in a state of serenity, visualizing his success as a present reality. The following month he received a partnership proposal from an investor that covered all his losses and more. That is scientific faith, acting with the knowledge that the law is already working, even if you cannot yet see the physical results. You can practice this kind of faith. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and bring your attention to the center of your chest. Feel a golden sun pulsing with certainty. Then mentally declare, "I know my word has power. I know that what I decree is fulfilled. I trust in the perfect law of my subconscious." Stay there for a few minutes. Allow the sensation of certainty to fill you. Do not struggle to believe. Simply accept that the law is already acting. This is a form of guided meditation to reinforce your faith. Another powerful technique is to recall a past situation where you obtained a positive result by affirming or decreeing. Relive that moment. Mentally reproduce the emotions you felt, then associate them with your new decree. This creates a bridge of certainty that strengthens the new sowing. Scientific faith is based on the principle of cause and effect. If you sow a cause with decree, emotion, and persistence, the effect is inevitable. You do not need to know how. That belongs to the subconscious wisdom. You only give the command, like the farmer who plants and lets the soil do its work. There is a difference between believing and knowing. To believe implies possibility. To know implies certainty. The believer may still doubt. The knower has sealed the word. Just as you know that fire burns, you can know that your decree works. In Mark 11:23 we are taught, "Whoever says to this mountain, 'Be taken up and thrown into the sea,' and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him." Notice it does not say it will be done if you try hard, if you are a good person, or if you deserve it. It says, if you do not doubt in your heart, what you say will be done. It is a direct formula. Doubt is eliminated with understanding, and understanding comes through study, application, and experience. Once you see a prayer work, your faith multiplies, and hence the importance of practice even with small things. Affirm each morning, "Today everything works for my good. My words are seeds of success, and I harvest visible results." Then observe the evidence. Personal evidence is the best fertilizer for your faith. You are not here to rely on luck. You are here to develop certainty that does not depend on visible circumstances, because you know the root is already working invisibly. Faith is the trunk of your creative power. Protect it, strengthen it. All branches, health, wealth, love, purpose, depend on it. You do not need more faith. You need better directed faith, trained faith, faith that does not ask permission from doubt to grow. And when that faith becomes your natural state, your life transforms. No word you speak will go unsupported. No decree will fail. No mountain will disobey. Affirm now. My faith is based on law. What I decree occurs. What I sow, I harvest. My certainty is unshakable because I know the power acting within me. And I remember, the entire universe responds to a mind that knows. Chapter 4, the first branches, decrees for perfect health. Imagine a young tree beginning to extend its first branches toward the light. So is your health, an outward expression of the invisible power that rises from deep within you. If the roots of your mind are well planted in faith, and if your trunk, your inner certainty is strong, then your branches, your organs, your cells, your nervous system, your skin, and your blood will be filled with vitality, flexibility, and harmony. The body is not separate from the mind. It is its reflection. Everything that appears in the body is an impression previously sown in the inner soil. The most advanced medicine is beginning to recognize what the scriptures revealed centuries ago. As he thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Your external health is a faithful projection of your internal mental atmosphere. Listen carefully to what you say. Every organ responds to what you feel. Your immune system, your digestion, your circulation, your respiration, all vibrate in tune with your words and emotions. When you decree health, you are not speaking to a passive entity, but to a living intelligence that inhabits every particle of your body. We call this the healing intelligence. It is not fantasy. It is a real force present in every human being, responding when invoked with clarity, emotion, and persistence. You can activate this intelligence right now with the right words spoken in the proper mental state. How to decree health effectively? First, enter a state of deep relaxation because a tense body does not listen. A hurried mind cannot sow well. Do this. Sit or lie down in a quiet place. Breathe deeply 3 times. With each exhale, imagine your body releasing tension more and more. Visualize a gentle light traveling down your spine from the neck to the tailbone. Feel this light relax, center, and prepare you to sow. Then, in this receptive state, pronounce your decree, not as one recites a magic formula, but as one issues a serene command. Your voice should be clear, slow, firm, like a doctor who knows the law and applies it with precision. Here is a series of specific decrees that have proven effective in dozens of clinical cases when repeated with faith for at least 21 consecutive nights. Every cell of my body vibrates with divine life. I am health, I am energy, I am perfect harmony. My nervous system is at peace, every fiber relaxes, every impulse is orderly. Balance reigns in me. My digestion is perfect. My body assimilates all I need with intelligence and eliminates what does not serve me with ease. Divine intelligence regulates my blood pressure, circulation, and vital rhythm. I am in total equilibrium. My bones are strong, my joints flexible, my physical structure is a resilient and graceful temple. Each night I sleep deeply and my body renews itself as I rest. I awaken with energy and clarity. My immune system is a luminous shield. Nothing negative can enter. I am protected by the light of health. The light of God flows through my skin, my blood, my organs. Every cell responds to this light with perfect health. My breathing is deep, free, rhythmic. The breath of life circulates within me with renewing power. I declare that the healing intelligence within me restores all imbalance. I am whole, restored, and complete now. These decrees should preferably be repeated before sleep, when the subconscious is most open to receiving new instructions. The conscious mind retreats, and the soil is ready. This is when the seed enters most deeply. Repeat your chosen decree at least 3 times, feeling its truth as if it were already fulfilled. While doing so, visualize. It is not enough to speak the word, you must see it. If you decree health, imagine your body radiant, filled with light, functioning perfectly. If you decree sleep, visualize yourself resting peacefully. The mental image is the mold, the word is the command, and the feeling is the energy that gives life to the whole. Once, a 68-year-old woman was diagnosed with chronic colon inflammation. She told me, "I have tried everything, but the pain persists." I asked, "What do you tell yourself about your body each day?" She confessed, "I always repeat that my body is weak, that I am not what I used to be." I replied, You are decreeing your deterioration with your own mouth. I gave her a decree. My body is strong, youthful in spirit, and regenerates every day. My entire digestive system functions with ease, joy, and precision. She repeated it nightly for a month. By the third week, the pain had decreased by half. By the second month, her doctor was astonished. The inflammation was gone. Why did it work? Because she stopped feeding the illness with negative words and began sowing health. And the seed of the word, when repeated with faith, produces fruit. If you have received a negative medical diagnosis, do not deny it, but neutralize it with a higher decree. Say, I accept the medical report, but my true health comes from the healing power within me. This diagnosis is not my destiny. My destiny is divine perfection. No. Your body listens, your blood listens, your immune system listens. Do not let it hear complaints, lamentations, or condemnations. Train it with words of life. Each night before sleep, you can use this health routine. Relax deeply, choose 1 or 2 decrees according to your need. Repeat each 3 times while visualizing the result. Give thanks in advance. Sleep with the certainty that healing has already begun. Do this for 21 days and observe. Do not be surprised if your symptoms dissolve, your energy rises, your face glows, because the word has power, and you have the authority to use it. Remember, your body is a sacred garden. Care for it with life-giving thoughts. Water its roots with elevated emotions. Clean its leaves with luminous decrees, and you will see the branches of your being fill with blossoms of health, vitality, and wholeness. Now say with me, I declare that my body is a perfect instrument of divine life. I am healthy, complete, and full of energy. This is the truth of my being, and may that truth manifest in every fiber of me. Amen. Chapter 5. Branches of Gold. Decrees for instant prosperity. Gold is not outside, gold is within. Every leaf that touches the sun is proof that energy manifests visibly when there is openness, receptivity, and flow. Just as sap rises through the trunk to reach every leaf of a prosperous tree, so too must wealth flow from your inner source to every corner of your life. Poverty is not a virtue. It is a mental error, a misalignment between the source and the channel. There is no scarcity in divine creation. What exists is a mental disconnect between universal abundance and the individual. This disconnect is almost always caused by unconscious decrees loaded with guilt, fear, or resignation. It is time to uproot those dry roots of the mind. It is time to declare the truth. Your prosperity is a divine right. You were created to flourish. Just as no tree is born to wither, no soul incarnates to endure perpetual scarcity. The universe is abundance, and you are part of the universe. Therefore, you are abundance. Money is energy, circulation, and a symbol of exchange. When you decree prosperity with scientific faith, you open channels, directing ideas, people, opportunities, sales, contracts, promotions, gifts, and raises. Do not limit your thinking to bills. Think in terms of flow. The law of circulation says what you give with joy returns multiplied, but to give, you must first have. And to have, you must decree. How to build a prosperity decree. Use the same 5 principles learned before. Present tense, positive language, clarity of intention, felt emotion, and daily persistence. Add a new ingredient. Anticipatory gratitude. This signals to your subconscious that what you decree is already a planted reality. Listen to these 15 decrees graduated by intensity for different financial situations. Use the one that resonates most. Adapt the words if necessary, but never change the principle. Speak as one who has already received. I give thanks because money flows to me from visible and invisible sources now and always. My income increases constantly. Each day I am more prosperous and abundant. Everything I touch prospers. Opportunities seek me. I am a magnet for wealth. My work is blessed, my business flourishes, my talents multiply. I receive payments, gifts, proposals, and profits consistently and in growth. I am aligned with the law of circulation. I give with love and receive in abundance. The doors of success are open. I enter with confidence and reap visible results. My subconscious now accepts the idea of wealth and acts accordingly. I am guided to wise and profitable financial decisions. Infinite intelligence directs me. Every prosperous thought I cultivate becomes useful and blessed money. My mind is fertile soil. I plant ideas of wealth and harvest financial freedom. I decree that money comes to me with ease, frequency, and joy. So it is. The universe supports all my ventures. Prosperity is natural for me. I am part of the divine plan of abundance. I am surrounded by unlimited wealth. I erase all past decrees of poverty. My new word is prosperity, wealth, and success. Each decree should be repeated consciously, ideally in the morning upon waking and at night before sleep. That pre-sleep moment is crucial. It is when you can write your subconscious check. What is a subconscious check? It is a powerful visualization. Before sleep, imagine signing a check to yourself, issued by the Bank of the Infinite Mind. Place the amount you desire. Sign with emotion. Feel it already deposited. Then whisper, "Thank you, Father, for this is already fulfilled. Sleep in peace." One of my radio listeners wrote to me from Caracas. I was on the verge of bankruptcy. I suggested he repeat, "I give thanks because each day I sell more and better. My clients seek me. My business prospers." He did this 20 minutes before sleeping, visualizing people entering his store, stopping happily, recommending his name. In 30 days, he went from ruin to record sales. I told him, "You do not need to understand how a seed works to bear fruit. You only need to plant it and water it. Now, if you feel internal resistance while decreeing, "I do not deserve this," or "this is too good for me," you must neutralize the negative decree already stored in your subconscious. How? With this affirmation, "I now renounce all guilt associated with money. The good I receive is the good I can share. My wealth is service, expansion, and divine will in action." Because where there is guilt, there is blockage. Where there is resentment toward the wealth of others, there is hidden rejection of your own abundance. And the law cannot operate where there is contradiction. Practice this exercise for the next 30 days. Write your main decree on paper. Read it aloud upon waking and before sleep. Visualize its fulfillment as if it were already real. Give thanks with emotion as if you have already received it. Remain silent about it to others. Do not justify or explain. Protect it like a seed in gestation. After 30, 60, or 90 days, if you have been consistent, signs will appear. Unexpected money, brilliant ideas, new people. Everything will start turning in your favor. Remember, the universe rewards those who decree with clarity, serve with love, and give without fear. If you want more, give more. If you want to receive, first decree that you already have it. Because in truth, you already do on the invisible plane. Now say with me, "I am prosperity, I am wealth. I am a perfect channel of the universe's unlimited good. Today I flourish, today I receive, today I give thanks, and so it is." Because your word is law for your mind, and your mind is the root of all manifestation. Chapter 6. Flowers of Love, Decrees for Harmonious Relationships. If the branches are visible prosperity and the fruits are material well-being, then the flowers, those sensitive, visible, fragrant expressions, are your relationships. What use is a tree with fruit if it does not bloom? What use is it to accumulate possessions if your soul lives in conflict, if your environment is a field of tension, if the words you speak are loaded with resentment? Love is not a luxury. It is the very sap of life. And I do not refer only to romantic love, but to the vibration of humility, respect, appreciation, understanding, and communion that should permeate all your relationships, with your partner, your mother, your children, your colleagues, and with yourself. Every relationship begins in the mind, not outside, not in the actions of others, not in gestures. What you see outwardly is only a mirror, a projection of your inner dialogue, your belief system, the silent decrees you issue day and night about the people around you. The law of correspondence is clear. As it is within, so it is without. As is your consciousness, so is your world. This principle applies with particular force to relationships. If you decree inwardly that a person is difficult, stubborn, or cruel, that decree is recorded in your subconscious, and your experience with them will reflect that belief. What you affirm about another, you provoke. What you imagine, you invoke. What you decree, manifests. So, do you want harmony? Begin by planting harmony with your words. Do you want respect? Begin by decreeing it. Do you want to attract someone who vibrates with you? First decree your own value, for no one receives more love than they believe they deserve. Let us begin with a fundamental principle. You cannot change others, but you can change the image you hold of them in your mind. And when that image changes, your experience changes as well. This is the foundation of effective forgiveness, true reconciliation, and the attraction of healthy relationships. How to decree for healing relationships, attracting love and living in harmony. Do it first with humility, not manipulation, not the desire to control, but with the pure intention to live in peace. Release grudges, and allow the best in others to emerge through the best in you. Here is a series of decrees for different relational situations. Choose what you need and repeat it for 21 days, in the morning and before sleep. Speak with the certainty that it is already reality. I completely forgive, name, and release the past. We are at peace. I declare that my partnership is a space of love, understanding, and mutual growth. I now attract my ideal partner. They recognize, love, and respect me as I respect and love them. My family relationships are filled with harmony. Every conversation is a bridge, not a wall. I give thanks for wise, joyful, and loving people who come into my life. Peace reigns in my home. Every family member is blessed and valued. All resentment within me dissolves. I am free and I release others. I declare that every encounter I have is guided by the divine intelligence of love. My heart is a magnet for healthy, reciprocal, and happy relationships. I love and respect myself. Therefore, I attract people who love and respect me. Accompany these decrees with a simple but profound technique we call the silent blessing. This consists of choosing a person with whom you have conflict and silently sending them thoughts such as, I bless you, I release you, I wish the best for you. You can do this while looking at a photo, recalling their face, or repeating their name. The silent blessing does not change the other person, it changes you, and that transforms everything. Once a woman came to me in tears. Her husband, with whom she had shared 30 years, had emotionally withdrawn. They did not speak and slept in separate rooms. She asked, "What can I do?" He did not believe in decrees. I said, "He does not need to believe. You need to believe for both of you, for now." I gave her this formula. Before sleeping, relax. Visualize your husband smiling. Repeat, I bless you and release you from judgment. I see the best in you. I see love between us. Then affirm that our relationship is restored by the power of divine love. She did this without pause for 30 days. By the 4th week, he began to sit and talk with her. 2 months later, they resumed living together. 3 months later, they renewed their wedding vows. She told me, "It was like a miracle." I replied, "It was not a miracle, it was law." Because love, when decreed with awareness, purity, and perseverance, is irresistible, and every decree born of love is planted in the most fertile soil in the universe, the soul. Once you begin using these decrees as a habit, you will notice an internal change. You will no longer react with anger. Your words will become gentler. Your energy will become more welcoming. And this will attract more beauty into your connections. Practice this meditation every night for a week. Visualize a flower. This flower represents your most important relationship. Observe whether it is wilted, closed, or blooming. Then imagine watering it with pink light. Whisper, "Bloom in love, bloom in forgiveness, bloom in harmony." Sleep with that image. Your subconscious will work overnight to restore that relationship. And remember this principle. The most important relationships are not those with others, but the one you have with yourself and the divine power within you. When these are healthy, all others align. Say now with me, I am a being of love. My word creates harmonious relationships. Forgiveness, peace, and joy bloom in my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let these flowers perfume your entire world, for wherever conscious love exists, everything flourishes. Chapter 7, The Vital Sap. Feeling as the activating power. The strongest, tallest tree, the one that offers sweet fruit and generous shade, does not survive on roots or trunk alone. What keeps it alive is the sap, a substance invisible to the eyes, yet indispensable, flowing throughout its interior, carrying strength, nourishment, life. In the mental process of decreeing, feeling is the vital sap. Without it, words are mere shells. Without it, decrees are empty formulas. But when feeling enters, the word becomes creation. Many people repeat affirmations, pray, recite lofty phrases, and nothing happens. Why? Because they do it without emotion. Because the decree has not touched the soul, they speak like parrots, not as creators. The law of the subconscious does not respond to mechanical speech, but to what you feel intensely. Words without fire do not penetrate. Emotion is the electric spark that ignites the mental machinery. Just as an actor can deliver the same line 100 different ways, only one moves the audience. The difference is not in the words, but in the emotion behind them. The subconscious is like that silent audience. It does not hear words. It perceives vibrations. It knows if what you say is true to you. It acts not according to your voice, but according to your felt conviction. The emotional chemistry of the decree is simple. When you repeat an affirmation with elevated feeling, gratitude, certainty, joy, love, determination, your body generates a cascade of neurochemical signals that anchor the thought deep within your being. The mental image becomes vivid, the brain records it as real, and the subconscious, unable to distinguish between the real and the vividly imagined, obeys. This is not theory, it is law, and this law can be applied scientifically, methodically, with measurable results. How to generate authentic feeling before and during a decree? There are several techniques. The first is what I call the sensory method. It involves using the senses to create an internal experience so rich, so real, that the body reacts as if you are already living what you wish to decree. Do this. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Visualize your decree fulfilled. If it is prosperity, imagine the money in your hand. If it is health, feel your body light and vibrant. If it is love, hear the voice of the beloved. Engage all senses, see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Now repeat your decree in a firm voice. Feel that moment when your body trembles slightly, when a warm emotion rises, when a tear or a smile appears unbidden. This is the sign that the decree has been sown with sap. Another powerful technique is positive emotional memory. Recall a real moment in your life when you felt an intense emotion: joy, gratitude, relief, love. Relive that moment for a few seconds. Let the emotion return to you. Then, with that feeling present, issue your decree. The emotion of the memory becomes the vehicle that carries your word into the subconscious. Many professional actors use this technique before stepping on stage. They connect to a personal memory so that what they say has truth. Do the same, because you are the lead actor in the play of your life. Do not recite phrases mechanically. Make them yours. Vibrate with them. You must also learn to distinguish desire from conviction. Desire can be a shouted lack. I want this, while simultaneously thinking, why don't I have it? Conviction, by contrast, is the silent certainty that it is already done. It is like saying, this is mine, it belongs to me, I receive it now. How to move from desire to conviction through felt repetition. The heart learns by insistence. The first time you decree something, it may sound hollow. The second time, something stirs. By the 10th repetition, you do not speak it. You proclaim it. By the 20th, you embody it. Do not fear repetition. Each repetition is like a drop of sap soaking the trunk of the subconscious. Here is an emotional intensity scale you can use to measure your decree's effectiveness. Apathy, I say it, but I believe nothing. Uncertainty, I say it, maybe it will happen. Hope, I wish it were true. Acceptance, it could be true. Trust, I begin to feel the possibilities. Certainty, it is mine, I have it, thank you. Ecstasy, it is already real, I am filled with joy. Your goal is to reach level 6 or 7 at least once a day during your practice. You do not need to stay there constantly. A spark is enough to light a forest. A woman wrote to me from Buenos Aires. Her son had not spoken to her for 7 years. She asked for a decree. I gave her this. My son and I are united by divine love. We forgive each other, we meet, we embrace. But I insisted, do not repeat it as a duty. Feel it as if it has already happened. She did it every night. At first she felt nothing. By day 15, something changed. She began to cry as she said it. In her imagination, she already saw her son knocking at her door. On day 26, she received a letter. He asked to meet. The rest was a real embrace. She told me, it wasn't the decree, it was the moment I felt it as true. That is the secret. Emotion is the threshold between thought and manifestation. Before closing this chapter, do this simple exercise. Choose your most important decree at this moment. Breathe it in. Add an emotion. Gratitude, joy, enthusiasm. Say aloud, this is real, this is already mine, thank you, thank you, thank you. Repeat 3 times and observe. When the decree descends into the heart, it becomes a command, and the subconscious, the universe's most faithful servant, will execute it without delay. Remember, the vital sap is invisible, but it sustains everything. Your emotion is the energy of your word. Your word with emotion is pure creation. Say now with me, I feel my decree is already fulfilled. I vibrate in harmony with my desire. I accept it. I am grateful. I receive it. And just as the sap nourishes every corner of the tree, your emotion will nourish every mental seed you plant, and you will see your entire world bloom. Chapter 8. Pruning the Negative Neutralization Decrees. Every gardener knows that no matter how fertile the soil or abundant the rain, if the sick, dry, or damaged branches are not pruned, the plant will not flourish. Excess dead branches block the light. The same happens in your mental garden. Your decrees may be powerful, your emotions deep, but if you do not clear the terrain of old weeds, dark thoughts, repeated judgments, lingering hurtful phrases, the new cannot grow strong. In this chapter, you will learn the sacred art of neutralization. Because it is not enough to plant positive decrees, you must also cancel the negative ones before they become experiences. Every word has an energetic intention. Every idea, if not erased, leaves a mark. And the subconscious, as you know, does not filter. It executes. Here is the great defensive law of the mind. What you do not want to experience, do not think, speak, or decree. But if you have already thought it, said it, or affirmed it from fear, anger, or guilt, do not condemn yourself. There is a solution. Words can also heal. A negative decree can be erased by a higher decree. The mind is not fixed. It is in constant renewal. To understand this process, imagine your mind as a blackboard. Every thought is a chalk mark. Some write love, health, peace. Others write scarcity, illness, failure. If you do not erase what you do not want, that word remains, influencing your experience, repeating in your decisions, attracting its likeness. But if you take the eraser of conscious decree and pass it over the destructive phrase, you remove it. How to cancel a negative decree, swiftly, firmly, repeatedly. As soon as you detect a limiting thought, say aloud or mentally, "Cancelled. This has no power over me. I decree the opposite." For example, if you hear yourself say, "Everything always goes wrong for me," respond with an antidote decree. "I erase this belief. I am divine success in action. Everything works in my favor." If you catch yourself thinking, "Surely I will get sick," reply, "I do not accept this idea. I am perfect health. My body is full of life." Here is a set of specific neutralization decrees for common enemies of the soul. Fear. I cancel this fear. I am safe, guided, protected. Love dissolves all fear. Anger. I release this destructive emotion. I forgive and am forgiven. Peace reigns within me. Resentment. I release the past. I erase the offense. Love heals my story. Worry. I renounce control. I trust divine wisdom. All resolves in harmony. Guilt. I completely forgive myself. I learn, grow, and liberate myself. Judgment of others. I bless all. Everyone is on their path. I choose compassion. Self-sabotage. I undo this limiting pattern. My inner power activates. I choose well and act with love. Doubt. Faith replaces uncertainty. I am aligned with truth. You can write these decrees on cards, record your voice, repeat them upon waking or before sleeping. They are like a spiritual first aid kit. Whenever a negative emotion arises, do not suppress it. Redirect it. It is misdirected energy and your word can channel it. Another useful technique is mental erasure. At the end of the day, if you recall negative thoughts, words, or actions, pause. Visualize them written on a blackboard in front of you. Imagine erasing each one with white light. Then say, "I erase this mental error. I accept the good. Everything is forgiven and corrected." Breathe, sleep in peace. This simple practice prevents weeds from growing overnight. To maintain a clean mental field each morning, use this protection decree. Today my mind is a garden of peace. Nothing negative can touch me. My word is a shield. My faith is a fortress. I am surrounded by divine light. Visualize a luminous sphere around you as you say it. This is your psychic armor. It does not isolate you, but preserves you. It does not create separation, but clarity. It makes you a channel of blessing without absorbing the toxins of others. The subconscious can undo even old thoughts if you command it. I recall a man who for years repeated phrases like, "With my luck, surely I will get sick." One day, he began experiencing physical symptoms without diagnosis. I taught him to say, "I erase all decrees of illness I have ever spoken. I am perfect health. Every cell vibrates in divine harmony. He did this for 21 days, 3 times a day. By the end of the cycle, his energy had changed, his symptoms disappeared, and most beautifully, he regained confidence in his word. Your word can curse or bless, plant or prune, destroy or heal. You choose, and when you choose to prune the negative, you make space for the new. Do a weekly ritual on paper. Write all negative phrases you remember saying or thinking during the week. Read them one by one. For each, speak its opposite decree. Then, burn the paper or tear it into pieces and affirm that the old no longer exists. Only the good has power. This is not superstition, it is reprogramming mental hygiene. Now say with me, all negativity I cancel the error, my mind is free, luminous. Every word of mine is a seed of good, and so it shall be. You are not condemned by your past, you are sustained by your present word. And this word, spoken consciously, has the power to cut the weeds and reveal the hidden garden of your soul. Chapter 9. Grafts of Greatness, Decrees for Talents and Abilities. Some trees are born bearing abundant fruit. Others, however, seem barren until they receive a graft. That new branch, carefully introduced, brings fresh sap, unexpected vigor, and transforms the entire tree. Yes, your mind too. Even if conditioned by years of limiting beliefs, imposed labels, or frustrating experiences, can be renewed through grafts of greatness, conscious decrees that plant new talents, abilities, and capacities directly into your subconscious. You are not limited by your past, nor confined to a fixed personality. You are plastic, moldable, expandable. The subconscious has no memory of impossibilities. It only responds to what you believe is possible. If you decree that you are skilled, capable, creative, and brilliant, you begin to manifest that reality. Not because you become someone different, but because you activate what was already latent within you. Every talent you admire in another also exists within you in potential. The difference is that others have consciously or habitually decreed its development, while you may have postponed it with phrases like, "I'm not good at this. I've never been skilled at that. It's too hard for me to learn." These phrases, as you know, are decrees disguised as humility. How to implant a new skill in the subconscious is clear and repeatable. Define exactly which ability you wish to activate. Create a specific decree in the present tense, with elevated emotion. Repeat it daily with visualization for at least 7 days. We call this programmed mental grafting. For example, if you wish to improve your memory, you can say, "My memory is perfect, orderly, and reliable. I retain and recall everything I need with ease and joy." Accompany this with a visualization. See yourself remembering information quickly, taking tests effortlessly, recalling names without struggle. Practice it before sleep when the mind is most receptive, and upon waking when the mental soil is fresh. 7-day protocol to implant a new ability. Day 1, clear declaration. Write your decree precisely. Read it aloud 7 times. Day 2, vivid visualization. Repeat the decree while creating a mental scene where you already possess the skill. Day 3, sensory activation. Feel in your body how this ability manifests. Your posture, tone of voice, gaze. Day 4, verbal reinforcement. Add a complimentary affirmation, for example, "This comes naturally to me." Day 5, symbolic application. Perform a small action representing the skill. Read aloud for eloquence, draw for creativity, etc. Day 6, nightly download. Before sleeping, say, "My subconscious now absorbs all the wisdom necessary for this ability." Day 7, anticipatory gratitude. Upon waking, say, "Thank you for this new skill. It is within me. I use it and enjoy it." Each repetition grafts a new branch into your mental tree. That branch, nourished by faith and attention, begins to grow. Here are specific decrees depending on the talent you wish to develop. Sharp memory. My mind is clear, my memory exact. My subconscious archives and retrieves everything useful with order and speed. Artistic creativity. Inspiration flows through me like an unstoppable river. I am a perfect channel for beauty, color, form, and divine expression. Public speaking. My voice is clear, confident, and magnetic. My words inspire and transform. Divine eloquence flows through me. Accelerated learning. I learn with ease, speed, and joy. All useful knowledge is deeply recorded in my subconscious. Professional skills. My talent as a musician, architect, therapist, or professional grows and expands daily. My ability serves, shines, and prospers. Heightened intuition. I hear the voice of my inner wisdom. I know what I need to know at the perfect moment. I trust my intuition. I remember a young engineer who came to me anxious before a crucial exam. He said, "I always freeze. I blank out." I asked, "What do you repeat mentally before studying?" He replied, "That my mind is slow, that I don't have time." I gave him a new decree. My mind is agile, every concept is fixed and flows through me. I am practical intelligence in action. He repeated it morning and night, eyes closed, breathing deeply, imagining himself solving problems clearly. In a week, he took his exam with excellence, not only passing, but enjoying it. This method is not a placebo. It is applied spiritual power, mental technology in service of the soul, and your divine inheritance to use. Infinite intelligence, to which your subconscious is connected, contains all talent, all formulas, all solutions. When you decree with faith, that intelligence begins to download into you. It does not matter if you have never done this before, or if it seems difficult. Your decree does not need permission from the past. It only requires your present affirmation. Final exercise to seal this chapter. Close your eyes. Visualize your mind as a tree. Notice dry branches. Now see new shoots. Imagine grafting a new branch, a desired ability. As you do this, say, "This talent is mine. It activates now. It grows strong and bears fruit. Thank you." Repeat it with gratitude each morning, because what you decree with conviction, life will manifest. Just as the graft takes the sap of the trunk and flourishes, so too will your new decree draw strength from your subconscious and produce results. Your talent is not beyond reach. It waits for you to call it by name, and your word is the call. Chapter 10. Fruits of Protection, Decrees for Safety and Peace. Every fruit that hangs from a tree has been protected. The wind did not tear it down. The sun did not dry it out. No insect devoured it. Why? Because there was an invisible force safeguarding it. In the same way, you can live protected, surrounded by an energy that shields you from harm, accident, or fear. This energy is not superstition, it is applied mental law. And this protection does not come from the outside, it comes from within. It is decreed, affirmed, and lived. True safety does not reside in alarms, insurance, or guards. It resides in your consciousness. The spoken word released with authority can surround you with a vibrational field that repels anything out of harmony with divine peace. I call this the sacred circle of decree, and you can activate it today. When you decree with pure intention, I am completely protected by infinite intelligence. It is not a wish, it is a command, and the subconscious, that tireless servant, executes it. How? Sometimes by moving you away from danger at the perfect moment, delaying an event, diverting an object, or silencing a threat. The important thing is this: you do not need to know how. It is enough to know that the decree is fulfilled. Divine protection is constant, silent, and invincible, but you must activate it. The subconscious does not work on assumptions. It works on clear orders. If you do not decree safety, your mind may fill with anxiety, images of danger, and negative fantasies, and those seeds will grow. That is why the conscious decree acts as a mental barrier against external chaos. Here are some protection decrees you can use daily. General daily protection. I am surrounded by divine light. No harm can touch me. I am safe, guided, and at peace. Travel protection. Every path I walk is safe. The vehicle that carries me is in harmony. I arrive safely, I return even better. Family protection. My home is full of peace. Every loved one is under the shelter of divine love. Nothing can disturb us. Accident prevention. Infinite intelligence guides every step I take. I am alert, centered, and protected. Everything occurs in perfect harmony. Peaceful sleep. During sleep, I am cared for by the inner presence. Nothing disturbs me. My peace is deep. For sudden anxiety or fear, this feeling is an illusion. I choose peace. The mind of God thinks through me. These decrees may seem simple, but their power lies in constant, heartfelt, confident repetition. The mind does not require poetry. It requires conviction. If you declare your safety, it is established as fact. A woman once told me that every morning as she left her home, she repeated, "Where I go, God goes with me." Every street was blessed. Every person she crossed was protected. One day, her car inexplicably stopped on a side street. While calling the insurance, she learned that a fatal accident had just occurred a block ahead on her usual route. Her decree not only protected her, but redirected her path. That is the power of mental shielding. To create a morning shielding ritual, do the following each day. Stand up. Breathe deeply. Visualize a circle of golden light surrounding you from head to toe. Say firmly, "This is my closed circle. Only good enters, only good exits. I am shielded by the power of my word. I am safe. I walk in peace." For advanced protection, you can extend the circle to your loved ones, your possessions, and your projects. The decree knows no distance. Whatever you bless with your word is enveloped in energy. What if you have already experienced a negative event? How do you recover peace after theft, betrayal, or an accident? The key is retroactive neutralization. This event has no power over me. I erase it from my mental field. I extract the lesson. I retain my peace. Everything is restored within me. The subconscious can dissolve even past traumas if you give the order, because for it time does not exist, only active impressions. Your word can deactivate an emotional burden with the same force that created it. Another powerful tool is visualization with simultaneous decree. Close your eyes and see your day as a harmonious film. Every step, every encounter, every situation. While watching this mental movie, repeat softly, "My path is filled with light. My thoughts create safety. I am at peace, and peace follows me wherever I go." This is not superficial suggestion. It is precise mental direction. It is like a lighthouse at sea. It does not eliminate the waves, but it guides the ship. And if at any moment you feel disturbance or threat, do not feed it. Do not say something bad will happen. Say the opposite with more strength. Nothing external has power over me. I decree peace. I live in protection. Feel that peace as a shield. To seal this chapter, here is a simple but powerful practice called the invisible shield decree. Whenever you leave your home, attend an important meeting, or encounter an uncertain situation, place your right hand over your heart and say, "I am enveloped in a sphere of living light. This light guides, protects, and covers me. Nothing can disturb my harmony. I am untouchable by evil. I am in the hands of supreme wisdom." Repeat 3 times, then release, walk, and remember this truth. Your peace does not depend on the world. Your peace transforms the world. Where you decree safety, safety blossoms. Where you plant harmony, harmony responds. Where you affirm protection, life conspires to care for you. Say it now with all your being. I am peace, I am protection, I am untouchable in good. My word is my refuge, and I am safe at all times. And just as the tree bears sweet fruits beneath invisible wings, so too will you walk with confidence, knowing that every step is guarded, every moment blessed, and every word supported by eternal love. Chapter 11. Immediate harvest, advanced techniques for rapid manifestation. When the sower masters the cycles, the soil, and the climate, they can accelerate the harvest. They do not wait for the ideal season. They create the conditions. In the same way, when you understand the higher laws of the mind, you can manifest your decrees quickly, sometimes in hours, not days, in days, not weeks. This chapter is for those who have practiced and are ready to reap, for those who do not just decree but saturate their inner world until the external reality can resist no longer. Here we are not talking about occasional affirmations or passive hope. Here we speak of techniques that activate every level of your mental, emotional, and vibrational being, provoking an immediate response from the quantum field where all possibilities already exist. Why do some decrees take time while others manifest swiftly? The difference lies in intensity, clarity, and frequency. It is not the length of the decree that determines its effectiveness, but its power. Like a laser beam, it concentrates so much energy on a single point that it can cut through metal. Similarly, your decree, when aligned with faith, emotion, repetition, and purpose, becomes irresistible. First advanced technique, subconscious saturation. The subconscious mind absorbs not through arguments, but through sustained repetition. It is not convinced by logic, but by emotional insistence. For urgent manifestation, repeat your decree not once a day, but 50, 100, 200 times in a state of relaxation, like sowing seeds every few minutes. Do this. Sit in a quiet place, breathe deeply several times. Relax your body. Begin repeating your chosen decree softly or mentally. Every 10 repetitions, visualize the fulfilled scene for a few seconds. Continue for 20 minutes or more. This process is called mental marination. The longer you remain in the emotional field of your decree, the faster your subconscious absorbs it. Second technique, compound decrees for complex goals. Sometimes you do not desire a single thing, but a result that includes multiple factors: health, wealth, relationships, opportunity. Here enters the compound decree, a powerful phrase that encompasses all necessary elements in harmony. Example: I decree that I now live in complete health, unlimited abundance, harmonious love, and divine purpose. Everything flows in perfect alignment. This type of decree must be repeated with full presence. It is not recitation. It is commanding with authority. Feel each word as a living order penetrating the invisible universe. Third technique, the multiplying power of the written decree. When you write your decree, you not only think it, you record it physically in your reality. Writing reinforces the message on 3 levels: visual, tactile, and energetic. Do this for 3 consecutive days. Take a notebook dedicated exclusively to manifestations. Write your decree 33 times each night before sleep. When finished, close your eyes and repeat one last time softly. This is done. This is already real. Thank you. Do not debate, analyze, or compare. Simply write and give thanks. Fourth technique, write and burn decree. This method combines the power of intention with the symbolic fire of transformation. Write your desire as an already fulfilled decree. Example: thank you because my business is successful, prosperous, and constantly expanding. Read it 3 times aloud with emotion. In a safe place, slowly burn the paper while saying, as this fire transforms the paper into energy, my decree now transforms into real experience. This releases the subconscious from doubt and activates the law of detachment. I have surrendered it to the higher power. Fifth technique, chain decrees. To accelerate even more, create a chain of strategic decrees that reinforce each other. Do not use contradictory phrases. Maintain a logical vibrational sequence. Example chain to manifest a new home. I am in the perfect place for me. Resources come to me in a wonderful way. Everything aligns effortlessly for my well-being. The home I desire is already mine in the invisible plane. Each day reveals the steps to make it real. Recite this chain in the morning, at noon, and before sleep, visualizing one step closer each time. 3-day rapid manifestation protocol for urgent desires. When what you desire cannot wait, a medical result, a sale, a reconciliation, use this method. Day 1. Repeat your decree every hour using an alarm if needed. Day 2. Write it 33 times and visualize it fulfilled for 15 minutes. Day 3. Perform the written and burned decree, then give thanks as if it is already yours. This protocol has been successfully applied by hundreds of students in critical moments. One wrote, Dr. Murphy, I did this during a financial emergency. Within 48 hours, a forgotten debt was cancelled and a new client appeared. I had never felt so much power in my word. Essential key, correct verb tense. Every effective decree must be formulated in present affirmative tense. Do not say, I will have peace. Say, I am peace now. Do not say, I want prosperity. Say, I prosper in everything I undertake. The subconscious does not know the future. It responds to the present moment. If you speak in the future, it postpones. If you speak in the present, it activates. Immediate application summary. Choose a specific desire. Formulate a clear present tense affirmative decree. Repeat it with intensity, at least 100 times a day for 3 days. Write it 33 times each night. Perform the write and burn decree at the end. Give thanks as if it is already yours. Keep your practice private until manifested. Remember this truth: the universe does not delay. It responds to the degree of faith and interaction. If you give the order with certainty, life responds with precision. Say now with me, I am living manifestation. My word creates, my faith executes, my mind obeys. Decreed it is, fulfilled it is. Thank you. Wait, because what you sow today may ripen tomorrow. This is the law of immediate harvest, and you are ready to apply it. Chapter 12, the eternal tree, maintaining your fruits permanently. Every tree that has borne fruit must be cared for if it is to continue giving. A good season alone is not enough. Daily watering, clearing the soil, and above all, loving vigilance are required. In the same way, your decrees must not be sporadic acts or emergency rituals. They must become your way of living. Your word must be a permanent current of creative energy, not an occasional lightning strike. Many have achieved astonishing manifestations. They have healed, prospered, forgiven, found love, conquered fears. But then, returning to old mental habits, the fruits wither. Not because the method fails, but because the tree was left uncared for. The mind requires constant guidance. The subconscious does not rest, but it can stray if it is not directed. This chapter is the root that sustains all the previous ones. How to make the decree a continuous scientific prayer, a stable practice, a vibrant presence that permeates every day of your life. How to make the decree a lifestyle. There are 3 paths: routine, vigilance, and gratitude. I will show you how to consolidate them effortlessly, with a plan that transforms not only your results, but your very identity. First, daily decree routine. Begin and end each day sowing words of power. Upon waking, before moving even an inch, declare, "This is a blessed day, my word is law. Everything I say, feel, and think today germinates in joy, peace, and victory." Then after rising, dedicate 5 minutes to repeating 3 key decrees, 1 for health, 1 for prosperity, 1 for relationships. Choose those that resonate with you. If possible, do it in front of a mirror. Use your voice as a creative instrument. Example, morning routine: and my body is a temple of divine health. I prosper in everything I undertake, and I bless and am blessed by all around me. At night before sleep, decree, all is well in my world. I entrust my thoughts to infinite love. Tomorrow I will awaken renewed and guided. These simple acts place your days between 2 pillars of power. You become a conscious builder of your reality. Second, constant mental vigilance. The mind is like an open garden. If you do not choose what you sow, seeds from your environment, your past, or other people's thoughts will take root. You must remain attentive. Each time you notice a negative phrase, correct it. Do not suppress it. Transform it into a decree. Thinking, "This is difficult." Say, "Everything resolves in divine order." Feeling, "I can't go on." Say, "I now receive renewed strength." Arising, "This is not working." Say, "My word never returns empty. It is working, even if I cannot see it." This continuous re-education exercise is called loving mental guard. It is not repression, it is direction. Third, continuous gratitude as fertile ground. Every decree blossoms faster when watered with gratitude. Do not wait for something to happen to give thanks. Thank before, during, and after. Gratitude is the key that opens the subconscious treasure chest. Say, "Thank you because it is already done. Thank you for what is coming. Thank you for what was, because it prepared me." Make gratitude a permanent state. Make it your spiritual language. 90-day complete program for total transformation. Here is a plan to make the decree a lifestyle. Divide 90 days into 3 cycles of 30 days, each with a specific focus. Days 130, healing and inner cleansing. Goal, dissolve negative patterns, heal emotions, renew self-image. Recommended decrees: I am whole, healthy, and at peace with my story. Every cell of my body vibrates with divine life. I forgive, release, and give thanks. Days 31-60, prosperity and purpose activation. Goal, open channels of abundance, discover vocation, order priorities. Recommended decrees: I am a source of prosperous ideas, my life has clear direction and higher purpose. Everything I need comes to me in perfect form. Days 61 and 90, mastery and sharing. Goal, consolidate practice, teach others, create positive impact. Recommended decrees: I am master of my word, I give with love, serve with joy. My life is living testimony to the power of the mind. During this program, keep a decree journal. Note each day what you affirmed, how you felt, and what signs you received. Not to control, but to confirm. You will be amazed at how many coincidences begin to occur when you take the helm. Teaching others. Once you have experienced the power of the decree, it is natural to want to share it. Do not impose it. Be the example, let others ask, and then guide simply. Form small practice groups. Meet once a week. Declare decrees together, share results, pray in conscious unity. Everything you teach strengthens within you. Teaching is the graft that most invigorates the spiritual tree. Final blessing and mastery decree. Dear reader, dear brother or sister of light, if you have come this far, you are no longer the same. You have learned that your word is not just a sound, but a living seed, that your mind is not a prison but fertile ground, that your story is not destiny but a starting point, that the decree is not magic but law, and that you are not a victim but a creator. Take this final formula, repeat it with solemnity, faith, and joy. I am the master of my word and my world. I decree only good. I receive only good. I share only good. From today, my life is an eternal tree of blessed fruits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. The tree of living word has been planted in you. Care for it, nourish it, protect it, expand it. And when someone comes seeking comfort in your shade, offer the fruit that you yourself have cultivated. Because the decree is not the end. It is the beginning of the art of living fully.